Hey everyone, this is Verdilit here, and before we start the battle, before I start explaining, if you don't want to watch the intro, just skip to the second minute. Oh, this sounds weird. Yes, to the second minute, and the battle will start. So yeah, now let's talk. This match is against Surrey Litleo, aka Matt, aka yeah, he's Matt. So basically, this is a cross-division match, and this is the reason why we have the same Pokemon. This is an LBA match, by the way. If you don't know what's an LBA, I'll leave a link in the description. But the reason we have the same Pokemon is because it's a cross-division match, so each division has its own drafts. So right now, also Mega Mawile is allowed in this league. We voted on it. Anyways, so basically Mega Mawile was threatening to my team. I had Mega Latios, so I dropped Mega Latios for Mega Aggron, and I traded Gigalith for Tangrowth, but this is irrelevant because I'm not bringing Tangrowth. Anyways, I brought Aggron because Aggron is the only thing that can take a Draco from Latios on my team. Of course I have Klefki, but Klefki gets wrecked by Hidden Power Fire. So Aggron is the only thing that can take Draco / Dragon Pulse or any special attack, because even though it doesn't have the best special defense, but it's a wall, it's Steel type and it can take the hits. But abandoning Mega Latios and getting Mega Aggron only means that Rotom Heat is gonna be a huge threat against my team. And let's see what Matt brought. So basically Matt, you can see the name here is Tom, but his name is actually Matt. Anyways, yeah, he's one of my favorite PokeTubers, by the way. You should go check him out. Anyways, Matt, as you can see, did not bring Mega Mawile, which is actually really good for him because every member of my team can destroy Mega Mawile 1v1. I trained them specifically for that. I did not want Mega Mawile to have any sort of edge against me. Anyways, I was too scared of it. Anyways, both of us, by the way, are champions. I am the champion of Season 3 and he's champion of Season 2. This is Season 4. And this is our matchup, so... And actually we had a vote who would win this match. And the entire league voted actually to a tie. They voted same exact number that I'd win and same exact number for him, so that's crazy. So he goes. So I lead off with Garchomp because it's the only thing that can set up rocks. I could not bring my Skarmory because Skarmory gets wrecked by his team. So I set up rocks right now and decided to go for Toxic because before this battle started I had already accepted that I am going to be Will-O-Wisp, and this is a defensive Garchomp, not an offensive one, so it's not all too bad. It's a bad thing, but it's not all too bad. But he actually goes for Toxic, which is better because I can't be burnt right now and my attack will not be halved. So he went for Toxic because he actually predicted the Arcanine to come in with Flash Fire. This is why he went for Toxic, because like I said, predicting the Arcanine. Right now I go into my Arcanine. My Arcanine is also offensive set, or actually an offensive set. I have 4 offensive Pokemon on this team, it's insane. So he goes for Will-O-Wisp, and Will-O-Wisp does not affect me. So I'm trying to stall him a bit, like where this Dusclops down, because all my Pokemon are physical attackers and I can't really face it 1v1, it's gonna wreck me. And Garchomp is defensive, so Earthquake is not gonna do anything. So at this point, I predict him to go for Pain Split, and I go to my least HP Pokemon, which is Aggron. And Aggron also has Rest, which means that it's not the worst thing to get a Pain Split. And even if he burns me, I can still rest, like I said, and yeah. So basically I'm especially defensive set with Curse and Heavy Slam. I noticed that his entire team was very skinny, so I decided to put Heavy Slam over Iron Head because Heavy Slam hits his entire team for base 120 damage. Heavy Slam is based on your weight compared to your opponent's weight. So the heavier you are, the more powerful it is, and the maximum damage is 120, and his entire team, no joke, his entire team gets hit by 120. So you can see Crawdaunt has decent physical defense, and by the way, that Crab Hammer, boosted by adaptability, does way too much to my Aggron. Yes, I am not invested in physical defense, but it does way too much. So I go for Curse, and right now I know I can live the next Crab Hammer, which I actually do. And then I go for Rest. I wasn't too sure if I'm gonna live it or not, but I was banking that I was gonna live it. I was training with Aggron before this battle in Battle Spot, and it actually lives way too many physical attacks after doing that. So he goes into his Jaden Call, aka the Infernape, and at this point I was so happy because I wanted Sleep Talk to go off and I wanted Heavy Slam. +1 Heavy Slam does 70% to Infernape. And I was like, come on, but unfortunately I do get the rest, which sucks for me. So I decided to switch out because I don't want to get destroyed by a Fire Blast or Flamethrower, because I know he probably has a special move, or he would have stayed in with Crawdaunt. So he goes for Flamethrower. I have my Assault Vest Arcanine, I'm max HP, max attack, and I take this Flamethrower, easy peasy. As he decides to switch out, goes back into his, what do you call this thing? Yes, the Dusclops. Now, I do have Crunch, Believe it or not, Flare Blitz does more than Crutch on this thing. But anyways, it's in the range to be killed from both moves anyways. But I decided to go for Flare Blitz because regular offensive Arcanine is completely walled by Latios. So I wanted not to show off my Crunch, just to make him feel safe that he can switch it in. So he goes into his Tentacruel, and I figured that he wanted to Rapid Spin, but he actually wanted to wear me down. He expected Wild Charge here, and he had Rest with Chesto Berry. He wanted me to Wild Charge, and then he would Rest, and I would lose some health due to Recoil, and then he would Scald since he's faster. So he goes for Rest as I switch into my Garchomp, because Garchomp can take the Rapid Spin and make this thing lose a lot of his health and then retaliate with an Earthquake. But actually he just goes for Rest, like I said. And right now I'm poisoned. I decide to go for Earthquake. I will not over-predict and go for Dragon Claw. And actually from this range I do live a Dragon Pulse. And I'm not sure if he likes to run Dragon Pulse or Draco, but if he ran Dragon Pulse I would have lived it. So go for Earthquake and wreck this Dusclops finally. So right now Scolipede is such a huge threat against his team because I am Life Orb with Rock Slide, Earthquake, and X Scissors, so I basically can destroy his entire team except for the Rotom Heat. I need that Rotom Heat to be damaged, and this was my goal. I needed to keep the rocks no matter what. So here he makes an awesome play by going into Latios and then double switching into Tentacruel, predicting, I think, my Arcanine? Maybe my Arcanine, maybe my Aggron. So I go into Aggron because obviously I can take the Dragon Pulse and I can take Hidden Power Fire as well. So I decide to switch. I don't want him to spin for free. I want him to lose health when he spins. So going back into Garchomp, and I want to set up the rocks again because I can't allow Rotom Heat to just come in and get health for nothing. So he goes for Rapid Spin, loses some of his health, and Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet piling up on him. Also Toxic piling up on me. So he decides to switch out as I decide to set up the rocks again. I don't care if he goes for Ice Beam and kills me. I will just revenge kill him and keep the rocks up because the rocks are so important. So I do set up the rocks. I'm sorry, just taking a step. So I do set up the rocks as he goes into his Latios. Obviously, I will not risk it and take a Dragon Pulse to the face. I just go into my Armored Titan. And he decides to go for Surf, which Surf does more than I expected, honestly. I mean, Latios has super amazing special attack, but I guess Hagron took that pretty well. So then he goes into his Tentacruel again. I go for a Sleep Talk, and this time I get a Curse. And the Curse is good because right now if I go for Heavy Slam as he decides to Rapid Spin, he will be locked away once I set up the rocks again. Or he might even die. So I just went for Heavy Slam. I know he was gonna Rapid Spin, and this does literally 1 HP. I know it's base 20 attack and his minus nature and all, but it's kind of funny. So I go for Heavy Slam right now and smack this thing. As you can see right now, if I set up the rocks, he will not be able to come back in. He goes for Scald. Even if he bursts me, it's not the biggest deal in the world because, like I said, I have Rest. And I go for Heavy Slam and just finish this thing, so no more Rapid Spin. Seeing how he brought Rapid Spin gives me the impression that he does not have Defog Latios, nor will I give Latios the option to Defog anyway. So he goes into his Rotom Heat for free, unfortunately. I go into my Arcanine. I could have gone into Garchomp, but I was fearing Hidden Power Ice. Even though I don't think it kills if he's defensive, but I just wanted to check what kind of Rotom he is. So based on the Overheat, I was like, oh, he's definitely the offensive Rotom. Yeah, he's definitely offensive. And then he just goes for Volt Switch regularly, like what? I'm so stupid. He's actually defensive. Apparently, I don't know Rotoms, or maybe I'm overestimating my bulk. So here, I honestly predicted him to Volt Switch into Latios, and this is why I went for Crunch instead of Extreme Speed and Damage Rotom Heat. I just went for Crunch, predicting the Latios because it sounds like a safe switch in. What I could have gone for Close Combat or maybe Flare Blitz, but he does. I do catch the Latios and take out the Latios. He goes into his Crawdaunt. Unfortunately, I can't kill the Crawdaunt from this range with Extreme Speed. So I go into my Garchomp, and up to this point, we've had 3 battles, and Garchomp never died. I've managed to keep it safe in the entire battles because it's my favorite Pokemon of all time. But at this point, I will not spoil Garchomp and just make it survive just for the sake of the score. So I'm just gonna let it die. Even though my friend actually did that last season, he loves Dragonite and he managed to preserve his Dragonite and he actually earned the MVP. And right now, his Dragonite is in the Hall of Fame, so I really want to do that with Garchomp, but it seems kind of hard. So I go into my Giacidao because I can actually get off a Fake Out. Now, I am Adamant and Reckless because I can't outspeed anything in his team by being Jolly. So I decided just to be Adamant and go for Fake Out. It doesn't do much, but like I said, Adamant Reckless just wrecks him, whether he's physically defensive, specially defensive, whatever it is, it's just gonna kill every Rotom in life, even without the Fake Out damage. And then he goes into his Jaden Cole, which is the... by the way, his names are based on porn stars, so that's pretty hilarious. Anyways, so I decided to sack Armor Titan because I want to preserve the fake out just in case he had Calm Mind or something weird like that. So I do decide to sack Armor Titan. But Armor Titan actually lives the close combat. That's insane. I don't want you to live anything. But he actually does live that hit, which is ridiculous. I was honestly... I wanted to draft Mega Aggron just for Matt and then drop it. But right now it's proving to be a really good Pokemon and I want to keep it around. So I go into my Crawdaunt. I know that he could go for Mach Punch. I honestly thought it was choice, but I also know that Mach Punch will not kill even with Life Orb, but he does not even have Life Orb. So I just go for Aqua Jet and finish the game. Obviously he's at -4, I mean -2 defense. So, or maybe -4, I'm not sure. Anyways, he's at -2 or -4, so Aqua Jet will definitely kill, no question in that. And I do manage to get a 4-0 win, which is insane because Matt is an insane player. As you've seen from the score he went 3-0, and he just makes some crazy plays and it is ridiculous. He's the Season 2 champion, what can I say more? But I did manage to snag the win against him, so good game, Matt, and yeah, see you guys for the next battle.